All right, we're back with Heather Beer talking about how to connect again after a fight, and we've gone through the differences between males and females. So then where do you go? Do you start with an apology?
Well, that's often necessary, and I think that a sincere apology is priceless. Honestly, when you can see that you've hurt someone and say, gosh, even though I might be really hurt too, but I can see that I've hurt you, and I'm sorry because I don't want to, cause damage to our relationship. And so the other thing that I like to tell people is, when one of the partners apologizes, you really need to follow up with an I forgive you, not it's okay, because it's not okay. The offender, the one who is apologizing, should not be told, oh, it's okay. No, that person hurt the other person, and if they're willing to apologize for it, don't gloss over it. No, it's not okay, but I forgive you. That's a huge difference, and that's a huge repair attempt. And if that's received well, then that can go light years, in terms of reconnecting the couple, because you want to foster those feelings of reconnection, even if even if it's been a blowout. Another thing is to simply hold hands, or just to simply sit next to, like leg to leg on the couch or something, and just sit for a while. Sometimes just the fact of just being together and, okay, we're not arguing, we're done with this, we're trying to resolve it, and we're just going to sit together and just kind of be for a little while. And it's going to be really tempting for women to try to keep talking, but I would, caution to just have some quiet time. But the thing is, if we don't find resolve in our relationships, if we don't come to a point where both people both feel like things have kind of wrapped up, we've put a nice little bow on it and we can put that argument away for now. What happens is, over and over and over time, those unresolved conflicts build up, and they build up like a brick wall with mortar in it. Because I can't tell you how many times I've sat with a couple in therapy, and it's like, we never resolve our conflicts. We just, he just acts like it never happened, or she just goes on, or, because you really both play the part, play a role in not resolving something. But that's a really lethal thing. So when the conflict isn't resolved repeatedly, that's going to spell trouble in a short amount of time.
So do you want to wrap it up with like, okay, are you complete? I mean, is there anything else that needs to be said about this, or how do you?
Yeah, the other thing is, you can ask the other person, are you okay? Have we resolved this for you? And then you would hope to get that in return from them. Of course, I love you, I don't want to fight about this, and let's move on. And how can we avoid this in the future? I think that's a really good question to ask each other. Like, okay, have we resolved this to the point that if this comes up again, like, are we going to laugh about it, or are we going to go through this all, over again? And there's a saying that a wise therapist once said to me, that you can either be right or you can be in relationship, but you can't be both. And that speaks to me a lot about pride, and pride comes before the fall. And honestly, in my experience with working with couples, that's a big component of it, because if you can't be humble and apologize, or if you can't forgive, if you're just building up offenses all the time, then that's basically saying, I'm right, and I have a right to feel this way, I have a right to be hurt. And no, if you want to be in a relationship, it has to be a two-way street. It has to be a little give and a little take, and back and forth all the time. So you can either be right or you can be in a relationship.
Yeah, people forget that relationships are a lot of work.
They are a lot of work, especially in the day where we believe that Disney is right, and marriage is really about the other person making me feel happy and you complete me and all of these things. And there's no one person in the world that can complete another person. It's simply a fallacy. And so we really set up for a lot of failure, thinking, oh, like this is supposed to be this harmonious, relationship. We're supposed to just be able to smooth everything over, and we're never going to fight. And some couples don't fight a lot, and that's fortunate for them. Some couples don't do anything but fight. But you have to figure out how to resolve it and how to come back together afterwards.
All right, Heather Beer, great tips as always. Valley Christian Counseling Center. We'll be right back.